This is a tutorial on how to edit textures for Metal Gear Rising. For this tutorial, I'm going to be changing the color of the Murasama blade from red to blue, and I'm also going to be upscaling the textures, just to demonstrate how you can do that. So, what you'll need to know are which files are which, and which textures correlate to which part of your mesh in-game. And the tools you'll need are the Kwasior tools. I will link them in the description of the video. So yeah, as you can see, I've already put the tools in my folder here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to move the files for the sword into the miscellaneous dat to dds to dat.exe. And then I'm going to have to refresh the folder. And then you can see the original textures are here. Now, I already have the new textures, but what I'm going to do right now is, or I have the upscaled textures. What I'm going to do right now is edit it so it's blue. My program of choice is GIMP, just because it supports DDS textures and I'm familiar with it. So as you can see, there is transparency, or the image is translucent in some places. This is done for some kind of specular effect, I think. But it's important that you keep the transparency, otherwise it'll look too glossy. So I already have a blue color selected. I'm just going to make a selection around the red blade part. I'm not being too careful just for the sake of the tutorial. Let me do that again. And there's some red up there. So I'm just gonna colorize and select a darker blue just because I think it looks nicer. Alright, and now I'm going to File, Export as, the same name works. And I'll replace it. Now this is very important. Your compression should be DTX5. Previously, you had to worry about different compression types, but with the new tools you don't have to. Min maps, no min maps, and it should be selected layer. Just because I only have one layer, I do all visible layers just in case, or if there's another, if I do have separate layers. So, and then I'm gonna export it, and then I can close GIMP. And as you can see, the blade is now blue. Now this here is the normal map. This normally does not have any transparency data, but it appears for the Murasama it does. But you just have to keep this in mind. Generally speaking, if you're importing something from a different game, it will have normal map textures. If it doesn't, what you can do is go to Filters, Generic, and then Normal Map, and it'll convert it to a normal map. Since this already is a normal map, it is doing weird things to it. But to normal textures, it works fine, generally speaking. So, now that I have the texture set up, I'm going to move the DAT and DTT into the platinumdattool.exe and refresh the folder. Now you can see there's a DAT and DTT folder. You're going to move the new textures from your original folder to this WTP folder, which we created earlier, and replace the images that are corresponding to the replace the names corresponding to the images. I already had the images renamed, so it should just be as simple as placing them in. If you don't already have the images renamed, then you're going to have to rename them, but that's really easy. And then you're going to move the WTP folder over WTA WTP tool exe, and then refresh the folder, and you have a new WTA and WTP file. You're going to move the WTA into the DAT file and replace it, and same with the WTP, into the DTT file and replace that. Now you're just going to repack the DAT and DTT files, and if we did it right, we can view it in Noesis, and it is blue. It looks like there's a bit of red left over, but that's just from my poor texture editing. That's not from any of the tools. So let's see how it works in game. So now you can see the Murasama is now blue, for the most part. Yeah, that's how to edit textures for Metal Gear Rising. I'll probably do an effect editing tutorial next, so yeah, stay tuned for that.